Alright, welcome to the Cookie Clicker background tier list because no one else has made one of these. I'll be ranking all the different backgrounds that you can unlock in alphabetical order. And yeah, the tiers are Elder Frenzy for the ones that, yeah, you probably want to have them on all the time. Pretty good. Yeah, it says itself. Average is just like, yeah, I'll have it on sometimes. Kind of interesting, I guess. It's like for, you could still use them, but like they're not pleasant. And I want to claw my eyes out are reserved for, let's say, some special ones. So right, let's start with Anger Grandmas. Anger Grandmas looks like this, and yeah, I think that this one can safely go in I want to claw my eyes out. This one gives me nightmares. I do not like it. Next is Biscuit Store. Biscuit Store looks like this. And yeah, I can see the appeal. It's pretty alright. I think it can go an average. It's a pretty decent background. Like the blue and yellow go well together, but I'm not sure if it goes well with any milk in particular. Like maybe you can, I don't know. You might want to have a see-through milk, like maybe the honey milk or nah, not orange milk. Mint milk kind of goes with it. But anyways, it's just an all right background. Next is black and white, and black and white looks like this. I actually quite like this one. I think it goes well with the midnight milk, and maybe yeah, also the licorice milk. It's a pretty good background, actually. I'm gonna put it in pretty good. Next background is black. Here we go. And yeah, it's also pretty solid. It kind of feels like if you want to have a night, but like a light version of that. And yeah, it also goes well with the licorice and midnight milk. So yeah, I'd say black is up here in the Elder Frenzy. We quite like that one. Next one is the default blue. It's classic as always, obviously, and it's the one that you start with. And I feel like it gets the nostalgia factor. It's pretty good, so I think it belongs in Elder Frenzy as well. Next one is candy. Like the pink and blue is pretty cool and all, but it's too bright for me. I don't really like the coloring on this one. And also, yeah, I guess strawberry milk can go well with it and kind of dragon fruit milk, but other than that, yeah, rose milk is also fine with it, but I'm just not that big of a fan. I prefer the darker colors, especially because, I mean, you're going to be playing Cookie Clicker while it's dark anyways. So I'm going to put candy in kind of interesting, I guess. It's not too bad, but it's also not my favorite. Next color or next background is chocolate, and chocolate kind of suffers from the same issue as candy, where it's a bit too bright for my taste. So although it can go well with different milks like chocolate milk, uh, kind of with plain milk, spice milk is all right, although spice milk is horrendous to look at. I hate it. But it doesn't really do it for me. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put chocolate in kinda interesting, I guess, as well. Next up is dark chocolate, and honestly, it's basically just chocolate but better in every way. It's darker, what can I say? It goes better with chocolate milk than normal chocolate does. And I guess in general, it goes better with more milks than chocolate does. That's the main point. So, I'd put dark chocolate in average. Next is Displeased Grandmas. I I'm running away. After that, we have foil. I This one is so weird. I don't get why it exists. It scares me. It just looks odd in every way, and I don't know what zebra milk kinda goes with it because zebra milk is also really weird. But other than that, what is this background? It doesn't work with anything at all, and I just no. Uh, foil. All right. So next background is gold. This one, it's not too bad. Like, yeah, it's bright, but I actually quite like the sparkles. The sparkles really, it makes it look better. And if we choose Midas milk here, it's also pretty alright with the Midas milk. We could probably also go with the tea milk, or honey milk goes amazingly with this. Orange milk, it could be better, and banana milk also really, really good. For it being a bright background, I'd say it does a pretty good job. So I'd put this in average, I'd say. Next background is Grandma's. And well, it has the same energy as Displeased Grandmas, but just to a lesser extent. I still don't really like it. However, it's not as bad as Displeased Grandmas, and especially not as bad as Angered Grandmas. So I think it deserves it's a kind of interesting, I guess, but it's like bottom of this tier. It is almost, it's barely outside of I want to claw my eyes out. Next background is Mint. It's all right. It's not too bright. It's also not too dark. It obviously goes really well with mint milk. So it's just it's an all right background. Not my favorite. Don't hate it too much either. I think it belongs in average. Next background is money. On would you look at that? That's just, it's beautiful. I mean, we can all appreciate some good money. It goes all right with like my lime milk. Midas milk is also pretty good with it. Green Inferno, not too bad. I I quite like money, even though it does feel sort of out of place, but I think that's just because you're not used to seeing it that often. I think money, it, it doesn't deserve a pretty good, but I, I'll put it in like in average. Also, I think gold, the biscuit store is definitely not as good as those, and dark chocolate probably goes like around here. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, next background is night. This is probably one of the best backgrounds in the entire game. Put this on with Midnight Milk and you're just gonna have a great time. It's, imagine you take black and you just make it better. It got this, it has the sparkles from gold and the black from black. It's just really, really nice to look at, and it's also the one that I run with most of the time. So easily best background. So next background is Painter. And it's like it's not, it has some of that Anger Grandma's energy. However, it's not like I want to run away to look at. It's more like it's not that pleasing in a way. It's really hard to describe. And also it doesn't go well with like too many milks, but it could be worse. It could be Angered Grandmas and it could be foil. So when it comes to Painter, I think it goes in kind of interesting, I guess. Probably, yeah, above Grandma's, but not as good as Candy and Chocolate. That's for sure. Next up is Pink. Pink, it's all right. It has the same problem as Candy, I feel like. Obviously, it goes really well with Strawberry, kind of with Dragon Fruit, kind of with Rose. Actually, pretty good with Rose. But it suffers from the same issue of just it's just too bright. I I don't really like the bright colors, honestly. So because of that, it really drags it down. I guess it can go, it's better than Candy, definitely, but it's not as good as something like Mint and Biscuit Store. I'll put in kind of interesting, I guess. Next one is Purple. Hoo boy, I'm, if you know me, I'm a big fan of Purple. I really, really, really like Purple. And look at this. This is absolutely, this is amazing. It's like if you wanted to have a bright color, but it was actually good. Purple is just, it's a really nice color. It's going in definitely, it's going in pretty good. Yeah. Next up is red. And yeah, this one, the red is just, it's too intense for me. I don't know how to describe it. It goes well with raspberry and cherry milk for obvious reasons. Sanguine milk, not that great. kind of with rose milk as well. Not quite with strawberry milk, but it's like it could be as bad as uh pink, but it's not. It's not. It's not as bad as pink. It's I think it's a solid average color. Probably it's better than Biscuit Store, that's for sure, but not as good as Money or Dark Chocolate. Let's put it here. Next color is silver. Silver is here. It has the sparkles. We love that. And I think it combos pretty well. Yeah, it combos really, really well with licorice. That's also quite nice. I think it's like a gold light basically, or also kind of like a night light. Yeah. So I think I think you can put it in pretty good. Actually, no. Let's bump up gold to pretty good, and then silver is top of average tier. I think that makes a lot of sense. Next up is sky. Oh shoot. Um, Sky it's like a blue, but in a way it's just better. I kind of feel like. Yeah, it's a bit brighter, but the clouds add the detail that you kind of want from blue, I feel like. And it also has the nostalgia factor of being reminiscent of blue. It's just like, yeah, you took the default background and you upgraded it pretty much. So, because of that, actually, let's put sky up here, and then I feel like blue can go down in pretty good. That would make sense. Next up, snow. Snow, actually, this is pretty nice. It's like an again, it's like night, but like just slightly worse. If that makes any sense. Like, yeah, the snowflakes, it's a nice detail, and plus it's dark. It has the benefit of the contrast between light and dark, and the blue from the snowflakes is also really pleasant to look at. If we put on cosmic milk, yeah, that's pretty alright. Maybe some frost fire. That's also pretty decent. I think snow can go up in yeah, top of pretty good tier. I think that makes sense. Let's see. Next one is Spectrum. And honestly, even though this it's really bright, I quite like it because it has a little bit of everything pretty much. It's not it because it has both the bright and the dark, it evens out, I think. And it makes it pretty good. And obviously we can't ignore how gay it is, and you know, on this channel we love gay people. So for the representation and it just being pretty pleasant, I think it belongs in pretty good, not as good as snow, but better than blue. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good rating. And finally, as our last background, we got white. I don't like this very much. I've seen better colors. It's just too bright. It's too in your face. And it also, even though like yeah, you have the milks that are white, it doesn't even go that well with them. It's too bright for those milks. So because of that, that's gonna drag it down quite a lot. I think white can go in pretty interesting, I guess. It's at least better than grandma's, but I feel like painter is better. So yeah, this is my tier list. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to make your own. And yeah, make sure to do all the funny stuff if you feel like it, subscribing, liking the video, share it with your friends, favorite it, give it 5 stars, subscribe, and yeah, have a great time.